Ever feel like you're kind of just stuck waiting for life to, I don't know, happen to you?
Yeah, like if only this one thing would change.
Exactly. Like, then you could finally do whatever it is you want to do.
Right, right.
Well, get ready for a shift in perspective, because today we're doing a deep dive on self-responsibility.
Ooh, interesting.
And it's not about the blame game, not about beating yourself up.
Right.
It's more about, I don't know, like discovering this control panel you didn't even know you had.
Finding the agency you already possess.
Yeah, exactly. And get this, one of the sources we're looking at today straight up says, waiting for things outside of yourself to change. Totally pointless.
That's fascinating. Because it kind of goes against how we're wired, right? To look for external reasons for why things aren't going our way.
Yeah, for sure.
So to have a source just come right out and challenge that
Yeah,
really sets the stage for, I think, a really interesting deep dive.
totally. And the source doesn't sugarcoat it either.
Oh.
It says, quote, no one else can change your life.
What?
Now, I know that might sound kind of harsh, maybe a little bit like, whoa, hold on a second.
Right.
Just stick with me here.
Okay. Oh, I'm listening.
Because it's not about saying that everything is your fault, right? Or like denying this stuff happens that's outside of your control.
Of course, of course.
That's about realizing that even within those circumstances, you still have choices.
You have power.
You have power, exactly.
It's like you're not just a little boat being tossed around on the waves.
Right.
You actually have a rudder you can steer.
I love that analogy, the rudder.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm starting to see how this mindset shift works, right? But how does this actually play out in everyday life? The source talks about, quote, decisions you make today.
Right.
What are some actual concrete examples of those decisions? The kind that can have like a ripple effect.
Well, there's a ton of research actually on the impact of lifelong learning.
Oh, interesting.
Like people who are constantly learning new things, they tend to have higher earning potential over their lifetimes.
Really? Just from learning?
It's not just about specific job skills, though that's definitely part of it.
Okay.
It's more about this mindset of adaptability, right? Being able to roll with the punches in a world that's constantly changing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's a skill you build by constantly learning and growing.
So it's not just about like vague self-improvement.
No, not at all.
It's about these tangible benefits that can impact like your whole life.
Exactly. It ripples outward.
Yeah, like that ripple effect.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's be real for a second, right? Life isn't always smooth sailing.
Definitely not.
Sometimes it throws some serious curveballs.
It does.
So how does this whole self-responsibility thing work when things feel truly, genuinely out of control?
That's a great question, and it's actually where the real power of self-responsibility comes in.
Oh, how so?
Because it's not about pretending the challenges aren't there.
Right.
It's about choosing how you respond to them.
Choosing your response.
Exactly. And there's this amazing example from Viktor Frankl.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him.
He was a Holocaust survivor, and he wrote this incredible book called Man's Search for Meaning.
Powerful book.
Yeah, and in it, he talks about how even in the concentration camps, in the absolute worst imaginable circumstances,
Wow.
people still had the freedom to choose their attitude, their response.
It's amazing how much power we actually have, even in those situations.
It is, it is.
And, it makes me think about those hashtags that were in the source, the ones that really stood out.
Which ones?
Hashtag self-responsibility, hashtag make the change, hashtag empower yourself.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Like they're not just catchy phrases, they're pointing to this shift from feeling like a victim to becoming the author of your own story.
Exactly. It's not about ignoring external factors.
Right.
It's about understanding that there are things you can control and things you can't.
Your circle of influence versus your circle of concern.
Yes. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control your reactions, your choices, your direction.
Man, I am getting fired up about this. It's not about blame, it's about empowerment.
It is.
So, okay, let's say someone's listening to this and they're like, all right, I'm in, I want to own my choices.
I love that energy.
What's one small change, just one tiny thing they could do today to start putting this into action?
I think the most powerful thing, and it sounds so simple, is just to become aware of the choices you're already making.
Oh, interesting.
Like next time you're feeling stressed, instead of saying, this situation is stressing me out, try saying, I'm choosing to feel stressed about this situation.
Whoa.
It seems like a subtle shift,
It does.
but it brings your agency to the forefront.
Mind blown.
Yeah,
That is a game changer.
it is.
So, to wrap up this incredible deep dive, it all comes down to this. You have more power than you think. And it starts with owning your choices.
Absolutely.
It's not always easy, but it is incredibly empowering.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And remember, even the smallest choices, they can have a ripple effect.
They can change everything.
So, what will you choose today?
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
See you next time. Bye. Bye.